Hello, everyone. Let's see if we got this working right now. Okay, you should see a new link. Um, just refresh. Just 1 minute. We're making sure everything's working properly. You see the YouTube one?
Guess you're going to a different platform.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Okay, where was I? I think I was talking about my military experience. I spent a total of 8.5 years in the military. Most of my military knowledge goes into my book writing. Um, when I wrote my book, I wanted it to be fun and light and capture the side of the military that not most people know of or see. Um, I had a review on my book where the person reviewing said they didn't understand how the main character could be a master chief and be giving orders to um, line officers. Um, the book is based on a special forces team. A lot of times in special forces team, it's not necessarily the person who has the highest rank that's in charge. Um, the good officers learn to rely on the NCOs that have the most experience, um, and who are the experts at what you're going in to do. You can't be an expert in everything, but there are people out there who are experts in just about everything. So a lot of times you'll see a senior enlisted giving instructions to, um, say, a second lieutenant or a first lieutenant, um, and it isn't that the uh, the chief is in charge. It's that the officer has relinquished his control to the more experienced NCO. Um, and a lot of that comes out in my book. The main character's a master chief, and in the military, we say that the master chiefs and master sergeants, they're the ones who actually run the military. Um, and a lot of times when an officer gives an instruction to a chief, the instruction's general, and they rely on the chief to find the best way to implement it. Um, Back to my own personal military experience. My first 4 years in the Army, I was part of a 8-inch howitzer battalion. Um, it was a lot of big booms. But then I went into the Navy. I worked supply in the Navy. Um, but in the military, you learn to do a little bit of everything because you never know at what point you're going to be doing something. On a ship, everyone becomes part of the security force, and everyone becomes part of the firefighting team because the last thing you ever want on a Navy ship is a fire. So next. Um, my partner at Party Up Publishing is his name is Devin, and last name is Asplund. Auspland. I suggest if you get a chance to pick up one of his books, grab it. He writes dungeon cores and lit RPGs. Absolutely fantastic writer. Hi, Colin.
Hi.
You see my son Colin peeking in from the back. He came to say hi again. Let's see. Popping over to see Wanda. Might be better Facebook Live in the group if you keep getting kicked. I'm not sure how to do Facebook Live. To be perfectly honest, in the group, where is that setting? Group apps. Nope. But I've switched over to YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube now. I don't have a copy of my first book. I'd show it to you. The name of my first book was A Daily Walk to Understanding God. It was if someone wants to publish a book, what's the best way to get it done through your company? Contact me on Facebook. Drop me an email. My email address is forrest@partyuppublishing.com. We also have a submission page on our site. If you just visit partyuppublishing.com and to go to the submissions page, you can submit your manuscript or contact us right through that page. We'll be happy to work with you, get you through the process. From the time you finish writing your book to the time you actually publish it, you're looking at 4 or 5 months at least.
Roger.
It depends on how much work your editor has to do it. But once it gets through the editor and you get the formatting, you get the cover, on my first book, I actually did the cover through Fiverr. I found a graphic artist I liked. There's a lot of good ones out there. This is the cover of book 1. Everybody who comments today or tomorrow on the video will be in a drawing for this. I will contact the winner and send them out a copy signed by me. What else? A lot of people have a lot of different methods for writing books. Some people sit there and they'll work out. They use writing programs where they write out plots. They plan. It's a whole planning thing where each chapter is planned out. This is the stuff that the characters are going to go through. This is the stuff they build all their characters before they start on the book, and then they write the book. My brain just doesn't work that way. I just sit down at the computer and start typing, and I either end up with something that I go, wow, that's really bad, or I go, hey, I wrote something good. Maybe other people will like to read this. But everybody has their own different creative process, and everybody has their own best time when they write. Some people want a quiet room with nobody talking and no sound. Um, when I write, most of the time I'm laying on my bed with my laptop in front of me and I'm typing away. Uh, Melissa's sitting next to me on the bed. Sometimes she's doing schoolwork because she's working. Melissa, my wonderful wife, uh, who has been the one commenting, prompting me to say stuff so that I don't just sit here and look like a blabbering fool. Um, but she's also working on her second master's degree, so she's often doing schoolwork in the evening because working a full time job and having a 21-year-old son and a 7-year-old son and two our two puppies who are like two more kids. They're just turned a year old, so they're still want a lot of attention, and they bring a lot of joy into our life. Um, so our quiet time, we got the TV going in the bedroom. I'm sitting there typing away at a book. She's doing schoolwork. Sometimes, um, sometimes during the day, I'll find a moment where I'll have inspiration, and I'll sit here and I'll type. I've got the kids, Colin, running throughout the house. The puppies sometimes curled up at my feet, and I just type. Uh, I start typing with one word, and the next thing I know, I've got a chapter or two. On good days, I'll write 2 to 3 thousand words in a day. On bad days, I'll write 2 to 3 words in a day. Um, but you have to find a rhythm and a place, and sometimes it's some mood music or something going in the background, something that inspires you. And don't try to write about something you're not really interested in. Go with a passion. If you're not passionate about what you're writing, um, people aren't going to be passionate about it when they're reading. How do you work through times when you are not inspired? I've got a great support team. I when I run into one of those writer's blocks, I will talk to a friend. I will talk to my wife Melissa. A lot of times, I have chat sessions with my oldest son, Forrest. We call him Link. Um, he is a big part of my writing process. I'll talk out storylines with him, uh, and send over stuff that I've written, get his feedback on it. I also have a good editor. His name's Andy. He's former British military. Um, the good thing about having my narrator is actually an active duty Navy chief. Um, with having Andy and Keith uh, looking over the books after they're completed, they kind of make sure that I keep the facts right, and that the military stuff is really military stuff. It's not some made up crazy stuff. What is your favorite book, and why do you like it? Do you find any similarities to the book and your books? Oh, yeah, my favorite book. Um, One of my favorite series is Artemis Fowl. Um, and it's really not a lot of similarities in my book between Artemis Fowl and mine. Um, but I also like to pick up a good military book. I read a lot of military books. I sometimes get inspirations from them. L.T. Ryan, I enjoy him. He writes a lot of special forces stuff. Um, and one of my the more recent series that I really like is the Axe Druid series by Chris Johns. He just finished the last book. I both enjoyed the book, and I'm disappointed that the series is over. I guess that's a good time to end a series when it leaves you wanting more. I like to think that my book is unique. My son, when he was writing a review of the book, and he was talking to one of his friends about it, and they said he best explained it to his friend as a cross between Stargate, the series, and Shadowrun. Shadowrun's one of my all-time favorite role-playing games. COVID's been a little tough. I haven't been able to game with my friends the way I used to. I got a lot of inspiration that sometimes came just from our groups that got together and we played Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or Shadowrun, and it was the side conversations that sometimes led to interesting aspects of my book. One instance was when we were having a particularly tough time with mimics. So in book 2, I decided I was going to throw the ultimate mimic. It's a ship. It's actually a mimic. And in one scene of the book, the ship actually eats another ship, crew and all. One of the things that is really important to me is my friends and family. My friends often become part of my family. And I carry that aspect of family over into my book. The main character often refers to his team as his family. It's an aspect that carried through. Well, it's always been a part of my life, but in the military, everybody on the ship, they were your brothers or your sisters, and you knew that any one of them persons would give their life for you, and you would do the same. It's a sacrifice that you don't see a lot in society today. A lot of people aren't willing to step up and say, I'm going to put the needs. Spock once put it as the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. So looks like we got some ping. Hey Forrest, can you see me? Can I see you? No. I've had to switch over to YouTube because the messenger room wasn't working for me. So I'm actually streaming live on YouTube. No, I am on YouTube. Now having So my time is just about up. I do apologize for all the craziness and the technical glitches that we had here tonight, but we'll have it right next time. Thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, comment in the comments, and I'll put you in the drawing for one of my books. If you'd like an audiobook, just let me know, UK or US, and which book you want, whether you want my book or you want Colin's book. And thank you all for tuning in. Have a great evening.